would have walked out that room. Give me a plane ticket. Take this mic off. Here you go. Give me a plane ticket and annulment now. Turn these cameras off. Hello everyone and welcome back to Callan's channel. As you can see by the title, we are going to have a little chit chat about Married at First Sight, okay? So go get your tea, go get your juice, go get your drink, go get your food, and come back and let's talk. Oh yeah, and by the way, you see my braids. I got my braids. Hey, hey. Girl, yes, girl, they are long. Okay, so I have my water and my Oreos so we can talk about this episode. So let's get into it. We have Clara and Ryan. Okay, Clara and Ryan. You know, I feel like Clara is having a difficult time with Ryan's with the way Ryan moves. You know what I'm saying? He moves a little bit slow for her. Like she stated, like she's so used to you know, connecting intimately early on in the relationship. And Ryan, you know, he takes his time. He takes his time. And I feel like in this situation, I can see why he is taking his time. And you may see my hand like go over here because I have my computer right there. But anyways, I can see why he's taking his time because he and Clara have some differences that I think that they need to sort out first before they really decide, you know, okay, let's go ahead and do this. I think that, you know, even down to like religion purposes, he is like very set on his religious background, and Clara is more of a free spirit. And so is that something that he can really move forward with? I assume, and I feel like he's kind of doubting that. And also Clara has some reservations with him. Like she wants him to stop being a grandpa. Like, come on, like who goes to sleep at 9 o'clock, X, Y, and Z. You know, it's kind of hard, like, to get out of your routine. Like, and I think Ryan is one of those individuals that's like set. She's still kind of like I said, like a free spirit, and Ryan is more structured, reserved, and so forth. So I think they're still trying to figure each other out. I think it's going pretty okay at an okay speed, but I think that Clara could accept more of the pace, but I also see her frustration with it. If she's, you know, needs affection and is lovey-dovey and she's ready to take that next step, it can be frustrating when somebody else is not on that same page with you, but I think they'll figure it out. Moving on to Haley and Jacob. Haley just needs to tell this man that she don't like him. Like, you can tell Haley is really trying. She's trying to like him. She's trying to understand him in some regard, okay? In some regard. But she's also not being transparent. Like, if you needed time to yourself, tell him you need time to yourself. Don't lie and say you're having a girls' night and he comes down and he sees you out with the couples. And, you know, now she's like playing victim, like, what did she do wrong? And I think that he had every right to be upset. Because let me tell you, let me go down in my hotel and see my husband out with the couples after he told me he's going out with the boys, and he's there and it's women there as well, and he didn't let me know like this is what's happening. I would be pissed off too. Like, that's the worst thing you can do is lie. And so, you know, that's starting off pretty bad. Like, he is, and Jacob is different. Like, he is different. But Haley has to understand you can't lie. You gotta open up, baby. Like, we grown. I know you haven't been in a relationship in a long time, but this is the time for you to just be open and honest. What do you want? You already was intimate with him. So now you trying to retreat. Let him know how you feel. You know, do you want to work this out or do you not? Of course, it seems as though she really wants to work it out. You know, she's staying and they're working through their communication issues and so forth. But if you really don't, if you really don't connect with this person, just let them know. Like, be upfront, be direct. And she ended up coming out and saying that, but I wish she would have done that from the beginning. You know, just say, I need my space. Like, I'm still trying. Like, I'm not really feeling you. I'm really trying to feel you. This is different for me. You're really not my type. Whatever it is, so the person can know. So we'll see how they're going to be on the next episode. Moving on to Anna and Vincent, or Bree and Vinny. You know, I think they are a cute couple. However, like, I agree with Vinny when Vinny said he didn't like Bree's approach and how she treated him, and she treated him with disrespect. Like, I tweet like, to Married at First Sight, and a lot of people feel like Vinny is being like overly sensitive or dramatic, and no one can see how Vinny was offended, but I can see how he was offended. Like, I genuinely can see how he felt. Like, she is very sarcastic, in my opinion. Like, and maybe I have that same like emotional temperament as Vincent, and so I can better connect and understand where he's coming from. But Bree is sarcastic. So she's gonna have to learn to tone down her sarcasm as it pertains to Vincent, or he's gonna have to toughen up. You know, they're gonna have to meet in the middle because their communication styles are completely different. However, even her parents or her mom and her friends, I believe they stated that she's very direct and so forth. And I think that was rude to say, oh, that was so Vinny of you. And I kind of took that as he's very clumsy. And maybe he is, because even the friend busted out laughing when Vincent explained to it. I was like, yo, the friend. I started laughing because the friend was laughing. But when it happened, I felt bad for Vincent. And I think also the cameras are there. That could be an issue. Let me check my teeth, make sure they're not back. I'm back. I think that could be an issue for Vincent, like the cameras, and it's like, oh, you trying to play me? You know, maybe that's the other side of things, but I personally would have just cleaned it up. You ever see a person do something embarrassing, and instead of calling them out on that and making them feel more embarrassed, you just like, oh, it's fine. You just clean it up like normal. You don't aid into that embarrassment, because that is embarrassing. You know, popping open a bottle, or you have a glass and you drop the glass and it scatters everywhere. And then somebody is like, oh, great. Congratulations, you broke this glass and I just bought it. You know, you don't want them to feel worse. It's just like, oh, okay, it's fine. Let me just clean it up. It ain't no biggie. I got more glasses. It's fine, girl. You want to smooth it over. And so she didn't smooth it over the way that he would have liked. And so Bree and Vincent, y'all just got to work on that. But I think they're good. I like Vincent and Bree together. Like, they genuinely both want to be there. Like, they both are attracted to each other. They both want marriage. And so everything kind of just flows. Like, I think out of all of the couples, I think Vincent and Bree have the best like chemistry and dynamic going on. Virginia and Eric. I don't really know what the experts are thinking when they pair these couples, okay? Because I understand how opposites attract. I totally get that, like balancing each other out. However, you can't be so far on the spectrums, okay? You have this party girl and you have this chill guy, and you're trying to bring them together to meet in the middle. But it's not gonna balance out if they're too far, okay? And I feel like they're kind of too far on the spectrum, similar to Olivia and Henry last season. Too far, baby. And then so Olivia felt like she was dragging Henry, like they were not meeting in the middle. They have to be a little bit closer on the spectrum to be able to meet in the middle and really truly have balance each other out. I feel like Virginia and Eric are not gonna work out, because Virginia, I don't even know if she really understands what marriage is. Like, and I could be wrong, but Virginia, this to me seems like this is just something that she just wanted to do. Oh yeah, I want to be on Married First Sight. Yes, I want to be married. Yes, and just I don't know really what she was looking for. I have to go back into her interview and see what made her what was her interview question, her interview answers, because based off of her, how she just is constantly partying, I just don't think she's ready. I really don't. I think she needs to get that out her system. And not saying that, oh, once you're married, you're not going to party anymore. But she just reminds me of this college girl that just wants to constantly party and get drunk all the time. And when you're married, certain things change. The things you used to do, you don't do anymore. And she still kind of wants to live that single life. And then you have this guy, Eric, who I think he's been married before, so he already understands, a serious relationship. He's more stable and settled. And so now they're paired together, and it's just not, I don't think it's gonna mesh well. And he does come off like her father. It's kind of like, bro, like she is going to run from him, because he's just always like, you need to do this, you need to do this, and she's, it's like, what? Like, she's gonna get annoyed with him, and then he's gonna get, annoyed with her as well, feeling like he has to babysit all the time. And it's just, I don't know, I just don't think it's a good balance. But maybe Virginia will calm down on her partying, and maybe Eric will lighten up a little bit, and then they can meet right there. But I honestly think that they may part ways, but we'll see. We still have the season to go. Now, lastly, Paige and Lil O Chris. I could do a whole YouTube video on just Paige and Chris, but we're not gonna do that, okay? I'm gonna start off with the positives. I am so happy that Paige decided that relationship no longer served her. I'm so happy for her. She deserves all of the love that she is willing to give. Every person on there deserves all of the love that they are willing to give. But in this particular situation, Chris had been trying to get out of this from the beginning. Like, at the wedding, he mumbled something underneath his breath when she walked down the aisle. But at the wedding, he was telling her friends, yeah, she's not a trophy wife. She's not a trophy wife. So I feel like that was pointer number one. That's because he probably thought that the bridesmaids were going to tell Paige, and then Paige would be upset and X, Y, and Z. So that was like strike one. Strike two was, he had that tattoo covered up, right? So he thought that was gonna move her. Like, oh yeah, he was just recently engaged. Strike 3 was, oh, I'm not really that attracted to you. And, then we have the baby situation. And Paige just kept saying, like, oh my gosh, like, it was so frustrating to see, like, your sis staying and blaming God. Oh yeah, God, I just want to see why the experts put us together. God doesn't make any mistakes. And, baby, God was giving you red flags to say, boom, let's go. And you went on that show, okay? You went on that show. The experts put y'all together. And when there are signs there that is showing like, hey, this may not be, you can leave. And let me tell you, and I hope they get an annulment and don't get a freaking divorce. They need an annulment. Because Chris should have never, ever ended up on Married at First Sight. Run and tell it. You can run and tell it. Chris should have never ended up on Married at First Sight. As soon as they found out that he was engaged 3 months prior, that should have been a thorough, investigation done on that. Okay? But it was like they just grazed over it. Oh, are you sure you're over it? Okay. Just listening to his interview process, I was like, why is he even on here? Because you could tell he has a very immature mindset. And so I'm like, what? Why would they even do this to any woman? And so, anyways, then Paige agreed to sit down with the ex. No, we don't have to sit down and talk about anything. And I just feel like Paige just keeps fishing for maybe some type of closure, or I don't know. Because even when she had that one to sit down with Chris and he's gonna whisper in her ear, I'm afraid that I'm gonna fall in love with you. Girl, first of all, and she's over there giggling and smiling. Girl, why? He wouldn't even be whispering in my ear. We would not even be talking to Pastor Cal together. As soon as you told me, hey, I have a baby, she walked out that room too calm. I would have walked out that room. Give me a plane ticket. Take this mic off. Here you go. Give me a plane ticket and annulment now. Turn these cameras off. We wouldn't have been filming together anymore. But I'm not her. She's not me. I'm just grateful that she finally resolved, whatever it was within herself, and gained the strength to be able to move on. And it looks like on the next episode, Chris is gonna be trying to say some sweet things to her again, and she's gonna get up and walk away and not deal with his mess. So I'm proud of her. I hope that she, understands that this has nothing to do with her and everything to do with him. And I hope that this doesn't damage her too deep. And if it did, that God sends her the healing, the love, the comfort that she needs. And it's I know Paige is going to bounce back. And let me tell you, and Chris, just, as much as all of us, we are really upset with Chris. We are so upset with Chris. Chris and every other guy that does women wrong, they still deserve forgiveness. Okay, we gotta forgive. Paige gotta forgive him. And he needs to really work on himself and learn some things, baby. We gotta really identify some things within himself. Because even how he was acting with the pastor, he gonna sit there and shut down because you don't like what they're saying, because they're speaking truth, and you thought that they were gonna side with you and be like, oh yeah, Chris, yeah, go and be back with your ex-fiance. Everybody everybody can have their own opinion, and Chris cannot accept everyone's opinion. Like, if it goes against his opinion, he can't accept it. And I think that the pastor and friend, I think that they said some good tidbits. Now, I don't think that I see what they were saying, how your wife does come first, but I think that they were missing the undercurrent by saying, oh, you gotta, basically I felt like they were trying to make him kind of choose Paige. Like, you have this diamond, she's a diamond. You have this diamond and you try to work it out with this diamond. You know, this is your wife, she comes first. But I feel like they missed the undercurrent of what Chris was saying, because I don't know if they saw everything that we saw. Of course not, because it was being filmed. They didn't catch that Chris he was just wanting a way out. And any way out was his way out. You know, he tried so many different things, and then this one was like the last thing. Oh yeah, she's pregnant. Oh yeah, I'm trying to work it out with her. And then the girl was like, I don't know what Chris said, but I am not trying to work it out with him right now. But I think that the pastor and the friend missed that Chris really just didn't want to come out and say he does not like Paige, he's not attracted to Paige, and he does not want to be married to Paige, because Chris is too immature to actually vocalize those words. So he's going to project it on everything else. Oh, no, I got this child. Or even if the girl wasn't pregnant, he probably would have said, oh yeah, I just have to focus on work. Or, oh yeah, I do still love her, I want to work it out with her. Whatever, any excuse to get out the marriage, that's what Chris was going to use, instead of saying the absolute truth. He doesn't want to look like a jerk on camera. So just like he was like, oh, so you're trying to say my intentions are not pure? They weren't pure, baby. I mean, and if you felt like they were pure, it's a little different. No, they were not. Like, you were on here, as far as towards, I think he really wanted to be married, but his intentions with Paige in particular were not pure, because he keeps playing games. You know, you want a divorce, and then you're whispering, oh, I'm just afraid that I'm gonna fall in love with you, and you still trying to keep me as bait. No, boom, you can't do that. So I wish Paige and Chris well. I'm glad they parting ways, and I hope that they both find what they need from a spouse. So I'm gonna come back next week, and we're gonna catch up on the next episode of Married at First Sight. Leave your comments below. Like, who do you think will last? What marriage do you think will last from this season on Married at First Sight? Talk to you later.